There's something unusual about Kris Jenner reducing Corey Gamble's allowance to $10,000 a month. Hi, before we continue, please subscribe to the channel for all Kardashians news and update. Kris Jenner, the well-known matriarch of the Kardashian-Jenner family, is back in the spotlight, not for launching a new product line or creating another buzz-worthy TV moment, but this time for something entirely different. Reports are claiming that she has made some tough financial decisions, and those decisions are now affecting someone very close to her longtime boyfriend Corey Gamble. According to insiders, Kris has decided to make some cuts in her spending, and one of the most surprising parts of this story is the alleged reduction of what many are calling an allowance she gives Corey. The idea that a grown, successful man like Corey Gamble would even be receiving an allowance from his partner sounds strange to begin with. After all, he has his own career, his own money, and a track record of success before he ever started dating Kris. Kris and Corey met back in 2014, during a period when Kris was going through her separation from Caitlyn Jenner. They met at a party and instantly hit it off. Since then, they've been nearly inseparable, often seen traveling together, attending luxury events, and spending time with the rest of the Kardashian-Jenner family. Over the years, their relationship has grown stronger, with Corey appearing regularly on the family's reality shows. But now, the buzz is all about money, specifically, a rumored drop in financial support from Kris to Corey. An unnamed source spoke to Life and Style magazine and claimed that Kris has recently started to worry about her spending habits. According to this source, Kris has been watching her bank balance closely and decided it was time to cut back. But the strangest part of the story, the insider alleges that one of those cuts includes reducing the monthly money she supposedly gives to Corey, bringing it down to $10,000 a month. The very idea of Kris paying Corey has raised eyebrows. Why would a successful man, with his own established career in the entertainment industry, need a monthly allowance from his girlfriend? Corey has worked with some of the biggest names in music. In fact, he was managing Justin Bieber as far back as August 2014, and he's known for being a smart, hard-working professional in his own right. He's not someone who relies on others financially, and he definitely had wealth before he ever entered the Kardashian world. The magazine even went so far as to say Corey had been on the payroll for 10 years. But this claim doesn't quite make sense. Corey works for SB Projects, which is Scooter Braun's company. Braun is the same music executive who made headlines for his business dealings with major artists like Taylor Swift. Corey's position there had nothing to do with Kris or her businesses. That said, when Corey started appearing on reality TV with the Kardashians, he likely earned money like the rest of the cast. But being paid for appearances on a show is different from receiving a personal allowance from a partner. The rumor about the monthly amount being cut to $10,000 feels like it comes out of nowhere. While $10,000 may sound like a lot, in the world of luxury homes, private jets, and million-dollar vacations, it's actually a drop in the bucket. And again, why would Corey need it? Some fans and followers are puzzled by the story, pointing out that Kris wouldn't be paying Corey to begin with. They argue that he's far from a kept man, and probably finds these rumors just as confusing as the rest of the public. Still, the story has captured attention, mainly because it hints at a possible change in Kris's usual approach to money and spending. One possible explanation being floated is that Kris may be preparing for a more uncertain financial future. While she still has a very strong net worth, helped massively by her years as a producer and star of reality TV, the media world is changing quickly. The family's current show, The Kardashians, which airs on Hulu, has been renewed for a 6th season, but fans have started to voice concerns that the content feels stale. They're asking for more drama, more excitement, and more real-life moments, and less of the polished, controlled footage that the show has become known for. This could be putting pressure on Kris, who has always been the one to keep the business side of things running smoothly. According to reports, she earned around $25 million just for the first 2 seasons of the Hulu show. For the original, Keeping Up with the Kardashians series, she reportedly made between $5 and $7 million per season. Those are big numbers, but in a world where production costs are rising and streaming platforms are tightening their belts, the future may not be as stable as it once seemed. Another source told Life and Style that Kris is determined to keep the show running for as long as possible. She sees it as an important part of the family's brand and likely a major source of income. But streaming services don't work like traditional TV networks. Budgets are changing, ad revenue is shifting, and there's more competition than ever. It's possible Kris is simply being cautious, preparing for whatever comes next in the evolving world of entertainment. Still, the idea that Kory is somehow being punished financially as a result doesn't add up for many people. If Kris is really tightening her budget, it seems more likely she would start with travel costs, business expenses, or non-essential luxury purchases, not her partner's supposed allowance. Besides, the couple still appears to be living a very high-end lifestyle. They're seen traveling in style, staying in luxury resorts, attending exclusive parties, and wearing designer fashion. None of that suggests that money has suddenly become a serious issue for them. Some people believe this whole story might have been exaggerated or taken out of context. It wouldn't be the first time that a rumor about the Kardashian-Jenner family spread quickly and turned into a much bigger deal than it actually was. When you're part of one of the most famous families in the world, every small detail can be turned into a headline. And the idea of a $10,000 allowance being cut is the kind of phrase that gets people talking, even if it might not be the full story. What seems more believable is that Kris is simply paying closer attention to her spending as things shift in the media world. With fan interest in the show possibly declining, and with streaming companies becoming more careful about how they spend money, she could be getting ready for change. Being the business-minded woman she is, Kris has always stayed one step ahead. It's possible she's just making sure everything is in order for the future, and not necessarily making drastic cuts to her boyfriend's wallet. Regardless of the truth behind the rumors, what remains clear is that Kris and Kory are still together, and there's no sign of trouble in their relationship. If anything, they seem just as strong as ever. They've been together for more than a decade, and during that time, they've supported each other both personally and professionally. Kory has been by Kris's side through countless events, family moments, and business ventures. And Kris has often spoken highly of him, praising his loyalty and his ability to keep up with the fast-paced world she lives in. In the end, the story about Kris slashing Kory's allowance might be nothing more than another tabloid twist on a quiet moment of financial planning. Even if she's being more careful with her spending, it doesn't mean there's trouble in paradise. People in relationships talk about money all the time. Thanks for watching. Please do well to share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more Kardashian updates.